who y'all is. And people always gonna be testing you, and this stuff is growing up, Right. Whether you riding your bike or whatever you're doing, playing kickball or whatever you're doing, you gotta stand up for yourself because otherwise people are gonna push you around. And so I think that having those types of experiences kind of made me rock. It kind of made me have to be a little bit more outgoing. So people knew when I walked in the room,
Right. East side house.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Back to the ghetto, gotta rock that ghetto, rock to the ghettos all across the state. 50,000 people rockin' Dibby, got that moxie. You could hate or celebrate, ain't nothing you can do to stop me. So go ahead and just rock me. That G-string will be.
Hi, this is Tahira Talaferro, and you're tuned in with Media Sana. And we're here with Divinity ROXX, who have graced the stage with Beyonce to Jay-Z, Kanye West, George Michael, Destiny's Child, need I say more, the amazing bass guitarist, Divinity ROXX. How you doing, honey?
I'm doing well. What an intro, yo.
It's one of the first bass lines. You know what I'm saying? Like, right, you can sing it.
Say what? Come on, y'all, sing it.
You say what? Right? So like, I don't think like anybody knew that when I played that on the Beyonce Experience that what I was really telling everybody was that was one of the first bass lines that I ever learned. And that growing up in Atlanta and being able to get on Beyonce's stage and play an Outkast bass line, what that really meant to me.
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up in Atlanta, which was a really unique place to grow up musically because you have so many different types of people who live in Atlanta. One of my earliest influences was a band called Wild Peach. A lot of people don't know about Wild Peach. It was an underground rock funk band that featured Peach, who was an incredible singer. She passed away a few years ago, and her husband David Wild on guitar, and they actually toured with Outkast as backing musicians. But their music was so crazy and wild, and I was too young to get in clubs, and I would get into places and see this woman on stage singing her heart out and playing rock music and just really bearing her soul, and that was so inspiring to me. Then there was this band called Johnny Prophet from Atlanta, a three-piece power trio. Featured this guy named Shay Barnes on the bass. Incredible bassist, singer, again, rocked out, eclectic. Mm-hmm. When I was younger, we used to do techno hip hop.
Techno hip hop. Wow, when you were younger, so that was before
Around here sour, weenie, talking about the cowards. How is it that I'm amongst all these legends?
It was just so funky when I heard all this stuff growing up and picking up the bass guitar. But I didn't grow up playing bass. I didn't start playing bass till I was in college. So I kind of had to go backwards when it came to bass and like go back to all of these songs and start learning them. I didn't grow up playing.
Hey.
Hold on. Whereas a musician who grew up playing would. So I had to go back and teach myself all these things that I didn't know before as a bass player, and it kind of made me grow, And then I went on tour with this guy, Victor Wooten, who's one of the most incredible bass players in the world. And then I started writing my own bass lines. And one of the first songs I ever wrote was, wait. And I was like, okay, what am I saying? Yo, it's the D-I-V-I-N-I-T-Y. You want to be I, baby, you can't say I. D-I-V-I-N-I-T-Y. Let me say ow. So that's when I started.
touring in the little itty bitty towns to touring all across the world with Beyonce, where you also had your solo debut. Tell me about that experience. Was it nerve-wracking? Was it just like...
Yes, it was scary. It was really scary to get up, you know. I mean, the Queen Bee walked off of the stage and allowed me to, you know, have the stage to myself and do my thing. And so, you know, I got to tell you a little bit about myself by just playing bass. And I think that what I told people was some of my earliest influences as a bass player. You know, the bass lines that inspired me, that made me feel good, that I learned first. You know, like the Goody Mob bass line was the very first bass line I ever learned on bass, you know. So I got to play that, you know, to tell the world that, yo, this is the, as you know, when you think about somebody who's a musician, you don't think that they're going to listen to hip hop music, you know, but like all that early goodies and Outkast and all that stuff, man, Preston Crump was the bass player and he was killing it on bass, and they had so much live instrumentation. And people give hip hop a bad rap, but really when you think about it, it gave us an opportunity to, with the samples, to kind of go back into our parents and their parents' generation and discover music and bass lines and stuff that we never would have been exposed to, you know. But you always got to go back to the classics, because that's really where it's at. You know what I mean? Like just like the Michael Jackson thing. You gotta get into like some of the old, you know, you just kind of gotta get into it. Because that's what those cats.
You want to just step out and become a solo artist now, you know, after like doing all of this across the world, and you know, you could have easily stayed with it and just continued to be on the stage in the presence of, you know, some of the greats here today. But there's a greatness on the inside of you that I feel that is screaming to come out. Tell me, how did you just make that step out and step out on that?
Because I am insane, I think. Honestly, you know, before I did the Beyonce thing, and even with the Victor Wooten thing, I was featured in Victor's show as a bass player and as an MC. I would open up his show, and then I would join him and his brothers and play. So the desire and the need has always been there for me to be an artist. Doing the Beyonce gig was the most incredible thing to happen to me. I mean, I've had so many incredible things happen to me in my path or my career. You know, being able to tour with the greatest bass player in the world after having only played bass for a few years, you know, that's incredible. And then turning around and playing with one of the biggest names in the music industry with B. So it's kind of crazy. I mean, and I'm kind of crazy, and I like to take risks, and I'm, you know, really adventurous, and you know, I'll go waterfall rappelling in Costa Rica because I do crazy shit like that, and kayak down the Chattahoochee River by myself in the middle of the day. So why not step out into the world as a solo artist?
So does this mean that you have stepped away from Beyonce and from being part of that group? And
I have, and this is the first time I've announced it to the world. No, yes, they're actually touring right now. I think they're getting ready to start touring, and I'm not on this tour with her this time. I'm gonna miss them dearly because I miss all my girls, and I'm gonna miss B, and I'm gonna miss all the crew, and you know, those are my peoples. You know what I mean? And I love them, and I'm gonna miss them. But I feel like I have to do this. You know, even if I fall on my face, then I just fall on my face saying that, damn it, I gave it my all. You know?
I don't think you're gonna fall on your face. I heard some of your rhymes. I heard some of your music.
Yo, it's Divinity Rocks. Yo, you know you got to check out mediasauna.com. The number one. Not number two.
Y'all got me nervous.